What's up, guys? Welcome back to the I Am Her podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. To stay plugged in, you can listen to my episodes on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at I Am Her. You can also listen to it on YouTube at Audaciously Ashley every Monday at 9 a.m. And also, if you would like to be a special guest on one of my episodes with a certain topic that I am speaking on, you can email me at audaciouslym@gmail.com. So with no further ado, I have 3 guests here. One is Coco Porter. The other one is Daryl Porter. Yes, they're married. Good to have a married couple on. Whoop, whoop. And the other one is a guest that you probably all remember from the last episode, and that is Terrence Webb. I'm going to give them a moment to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get started on our topics for today. T. Webb?
Hi, how you doing? My name is Terrence Webb. As you all know, I was on the last podcast, and once again, I'm going to just tell you, I'm a hard worker, which I need to settle down and start focusing on life and doing what it is to succeed in life.
All right, Daryl?
My name's Daryl Porter. I'm a cool, calm, collected guy, open-minded. I really don't know what to say, but I hope to have some good input.
All right, Coco?
Hi, it's Coco Porter, and I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, so to kick this off, I know I asked a couple of guys 5 questions about fatherhood and some of their worst fears and all that good stuff. So we're going to jump into those questions. And question number 1 is, what is one thing about parenting you know to be true? And a few of the answers that I would like to go ahead and weigh in on with my guests for that one is, the first one would be, one child isn't parenting. Parenting doesn't start until child 2, 3, or 4. So what do you guys think about that? T. Webb, you want to start us off?
Well, back to that being said, I am a one-parent, father. Well, dad. Not going to say father because there's a big difference in that. And I can just say, I think it's still, you're going to be parenting either way, one or more, because you still have to take account to that child still got to grow. And as that child get older, you still parenting, because when you still parenting, that child get older and start noticing a lot of different things out there and different friends, different opportunities they can get into that you're trying to instill into them not. So as I look at it is, one child still can be just like parenting. Not just, you don't have to worry about being to the second. Second is just going to still be a combination of making it see how good you well parent that first one.
I said it probably, I ain't going to say it defines you as a better parent, but it makes it a more of a challenge to more kids. So I guess you will have more experience on parenting per se. Not downgrading people that have, one child, but I guess it makes them easier for them to not necessarily cope, but interact or help me. I can't find the word, but
It's easier with one too, because you gonna have more people to help with that one than you
because you
would
only got that one.
if you have multiple. So
I don't want to watch all them kids.
Yeah,
That's my grandma right there. But
trying to feed all them kids. I guess it would be easier for one, but it's still parents, and you can't negate.
Yes, it's parenting, but I guess it's just
Then finding a babysitter is easy also.
For one child.
Right.
I guess that answer came off a pride type thing. Well, I don't want to say that either. So, everybody got their own opinion, so.
it is. I do feel like with one child, it is a lot easier simply because that village that you have helping to raise that child, they only have one child to tend to. So there's one personality that they have to feed into during that time that they have them. Now, once you add 2 and 3, you got different personalities going everywhere. You got this child want to do this, and then you got the other one pulling you this way, want to do that. So I can feel that. I can definitely feel that, because I have 2 girls, and their egos and their personalities, they are so different. And when one child wants to do something, the other one doesn't, it's like, okay, well, yeah, they both want to do something with me, so what can I find that they both enjoy doing over and over again that will bring them both in together. That way we don't have to separate one another. And then I go play with this one. And then I'll be like, okay, your turn is over. Let me go to the next one. That way nobody's feeling neglected.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely feel that.
Those different tastes and stuff too with feeding them and stuff. I don't like this. I like this.
Right.
I want that. I don't want that.
That's experience I got to get into.
You only have to learn as one child.
Right.
Okay. And I'm sorry, guys, if you hear the thundering and the rain and the lightning in the background. It's storming really bad here. So we're going to do the best that we can and speak as loud as we can. That way everybody hears everybody's input. So the second thing is spend time with your kids no matter what. So.
I agree.
I do. I agree with that too. Everybody in agreement to that.
Wow.
Yes.
You got to, because it's so much like, as I was growing up, right now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm finna be 47. When I was growing up, it wasn't as much to get into as you got in this world today. Now, if you got the 2,000 kids now, I'm going to be honest with you, from 2000 on up, that might be going 20 years back, but it's still more to get into now with social media. So much to do outside of social media. Games, phones, different phones, and internet.
Technology.
Wow. I mean, man, for a split second, you can look at a kid. Back when I was growing up, we was worried about kids touching the stove. Don't let them get close to the heater and stuff like that. Or chemicals.
Outlets and electricity.
Right. Now,
stuff. Harm.
Man, now you got different type of drugs, alcohol, what this friend might say to them, or sneak them out and do this and do that. Man, it's so much right now that you can turn your back in a split second, your child outside and gone. You worried from the minute they leave the house.
They can hide so much more stuff now with technology and all these phones and stuff. Like, you'll never really know what your child be up to. Like, you might think your child innocent because they're around you. Of course they're going to act right, but social media, complete different person that you like, where they get that? How they learn this? Where they get that from? Because I caught my niece on Facebook talking nasty. And I was like, ooh, your folk don't know. I ain't going to tell on you, but because I ain't your mom and dad, but baby, you too young to talk like that.
That's where you should have came in and disciplined. Then
all right.
Did the discipline.
Go back to the relationship.
That's a whole nother subject because I was that's a whole nother subject.
Still,
I'm not saying I'm walking away from those. Yeah, I didn't
think about
my relationship with them. Like I said, that's a whole nother subject. Like I wasn't really around my nieces like that, and I do hate it, but I'm not gonna say the situations was out of my hands. I could have did more. But I relied on, I'm young, that's not my responsibility. It's like now that I'm older, I feel worse about it, but that's a whole nother topic because I'm not going to call nieces and nephews necessarily parenting, even though that's like a subgenre of it, but
All right. Coco, you have anything you want to add to spend time with kids?
Yeah, I mean, just touching base on what Daryl said because, Omar Ansel situation.
Which one?
The phone with him having the phone and just stuff that we would have never thought he would actually find, and it was
stuff that he say that everybody think he just delivered. I mean, around us and around people,
it's like what I found. Like I never thought I would find it, and it's like the innocence. His innocence is just. I don't know. I feel like it's gone now.
He's a boy. We all go through that.
Right. That goes back to one of the answers that we saw, that your kids will always
surprise you. Yeah,
they will. They will definitely surprise you. Now, I can't say that I reached any of those stages with mine. I go through those tablets all the time. Now, the worst thing I think I have found on their tablets, y'all remember these, because I was like, they were back there when we were playing spades. They were back there in the room taking pictures of their butts and stuff.
Remember that?
You know what? I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, they were in the camera just,
and they would have been like, when I got done.
Oh, boy.
But other than that, I can't say that I have experienced anything like that. But I know, like, with spending time and my work schedules, like, during the week, I'm at work. I work second shift, and it's like it's hard because by the time they wake up getting ready for school, I'm just now probably laying down and going to sleep. And then by the time they get out of school, I'm heading to work. You know, and then it's hard. Like, it's really hard, but you know, we've managed to make sure we talk to each other throughout the day, make sure I know what's going on in their life and stuff like that. And then on the weekends, we try to just find little fun things to do that way. Weekends, all them, nothing else. Like, it's strictly Izzy and Lizzie. That's it.
That's where, you know, that's where it goes back to where, you know, both parents play a role.
Mm-hmm.
Because with you being, your shift changes like it is, that where the father come in at.
Yeah, we both work on the same shift.
I said we all work on the same shift.
All of us on that same shift. So it's like, yeah, when the weekend comes, it ain't no sleeping in. I got to get up. They're probably gonna be up at the earliest at 9 a.m. So I got to make sure I'm up, get them ready, take a shower, brush your teeth, wash your face, do your hair. What we gonna do today? Let's eat. Gotta have all that in line. Like, my rest, I have dark circles under my eyes now because sleep, I ain't gonna never get it. Never get it. I try to, but
got to spend that time.
Never get it. Yeah, you got to
spend that time.
If you spend all day in the bed and they're sitting up there, well, we wanted to do this. Like mine, they get real catty. They'll start telling you about yourself in one read in under 5 minutes.
And it goes back to saying that's why they get in so much stuff,
right?
Because you're not spending time,
mm-hmm.
right? You wondering like, hey, when you start smoking.
Guilty.
You know
Not
what I'm
only
saying?
smoking, but
I'm just saying, you know, as time progresses, they start getting into things because then you're not around to support them or spend time with them and guide them.
And steer them away from,
Right.
And another thing, y'all, I feel bad about, I'm so bad out of shape now. Like, they want me to get on the ground and roll around. I can't roll around as long as they want me to. Like, I could get down there for a few minutes, maybe seconds, depending on the day. Then after that, my knees hurt. I can't breathe. My back hurt. I'm like, look, I need to rest. Like, I would get up there on the trampoline with them all day and let them jump around and bounce me around. But as far as me rolling around and picking them up and doing all that, I ain't gonna lie, I get winded. I feel like I'm about to pass out. I need to take a breather, get me some water, get me some oxygen. And
imagine if you feel like that, how it is for me, you know.
Like,
but you got to still realize where it goes back to. You're parenting.
Yeah.
Because you're spending time.
Sometime.
Right. You didn't say, hey, I'm not finna do it. You know, I don't have time. You didn't neglect them. See, because they haven't instilled it in their mind and said, wow, you know, my mom ain't got time for me. My dad ain't got time for me.
I ain't gonna ask
I ain't gonna ask him next time.
They just gonna say they ain't got time.
Right.
So, but by you doing it
on that phone,
right? You got, you know, you spend time with them.
Watching TV, you don't ever want to play with me.
Right. And then they want to play games, you know, play games with them. Watch. I mean, you know, I have 2, you know, outside kids. They always tell me, hey, your 5-stick working? My little girl, she's mixed. She's like, your 5-stick working? Man, I went out my way to get my 5-stick ready because I want to spend that time with her. She has a mom that, you know, she is very supportive, but she can't support her like she really wants to support her.
Yeah.
So she tells me all the time, she really looks up to you. So that, you know, that right there instilled in me and plays a big part of me. Mm-hmm. And I say to myself, you know, this young girl looking at me as a father figure. So the thing about it is, I don't want to neglect her. So when she want to do these things, I'm going out my way to get these things prepared.
Make it happen.
Right, make it happen for her, because if I neglect her, guess what? That's just like a light switch. I turned her off to make her go do something else. Now, I didn't show her the parenting that I need to show her, even though I'm not her parent, but she's looking at me as being one. So I got to have that guideline.
Still need that positive father figure.
Right.
All right. Let's move on to question number 2. What do you remember most about your dad, and how does this impact you as a father? A couple of answers that we got with that is that someone said, nothing is free. You have to go work for it. The other one said, This is my favorite one right here. This is the one I feel like we're all going to just weigh in on. But I really like this one. He said, for me, I did not grow up with my dad. I met my dad for the first time from my memory face to face at 7, in which he was on the run from the law. Met him again when I was 25. Since his release, he seems more like a homeboy than my father. So the father side he has is complicated because of the lost years. Biggest lesson, do dumb shit, it catches up to you regardless.
I feel them. I got some of the same circumstances, but, you know, my father did. I mean, they were married, they separated. I stayed with mom, of course. But I'm not going to say my dad wasn't there, but he was there, but it wasn't an every day, I was scared of my dad. It's just like my boy scared of me. And it's like, I don't know if it's something passed on unintentionally. It's not, I'm not going to say it's bad because he did come back, you know, and made up for a lot of those things. And, you know, around when I was about 10 or 11, ever since then, you know, he's still a positive influence in my life. You know, I thank God for that. But it's still that absence in parts of my life, I guess those younger years, you know, it still makes it funny. It's not what you would call clear, like a clear relationship that I think I could be, or very, very open. We're open with each other, but, you know, I think it could have been better. I'm not blaming him. And, you know, of course I know it ain't my fault, but, you know, things happen. But I look at that and try to avoid some of that. Like I said, I don't blame nobody, but, you know.
Right. Like with me, I can't say my dad was on the run, but, you know, his thing then was alcohol. And of course, like with that being his thing then, and that's all I'm seeing, eventually that became my thing. And it's like to tear away from that is so, it's hard. Like, no lie, like it's really, really hard. Like that's the only thing that I felt like I could cope with in a few moments. And it's like, I don't think me and my dad really just sat down and talked until I was maybe 23, 24. Like we would see each other around if I was at my grandmother's house or whatever. But other than that, I don't think we ever really sat down until I was 24 and just talked about everything and just, you know, let everything out and just forgive one another for everything. Because I'm 29 now, so that hadn't been that many years ago. And like, I understand. Like, it's real hard. Like, seeing him drunk all the time and doing the stuff that he did, it really takes a toll on you. Like, a big toll. A huge one. T-Will, you got anything to say about that one?
Shit. Be honest with y'all, man. I'm be honest. Man, my dad, shit. I'll be honest with y'all. My dad is my dad. Father. Sorry. He's a father. Because he didn't play a part in my life. You know, when I need him, he wasn't there. When I needed things in life, he wasn't there. So I did whatever I could to get it. Hell, I even steal. I even call myself try to sell drugs. Man, I'm talking about, I thought I was the best thief in the United States. I mean, I had a daddy that drove trucks. I mean, he had the money to support me and my mama. My mom would never put him on child support because she felt like that's the wrong thing to do. She felt like if he's going to be a man, he's going to step up to it. But I always stayed up on him. One thing I learned from my dad is how to work. Because he damn showed me how to be a man. Or to show me how to support my kids. Because he didn't do that for me. I might have saw him do it for other kids. But I never saw him do it for me. When I need something, his wife always told me, I get, you know, imagine you as a kid, the first thing that's tarnished me in my life was the worst thing ever in my life was I was so happy. You know, that 1 year was going by real perfect. I went on I skipped my whole summer just to go truck driving with him for that whole summer. And everything was so perfect. I was like, we'll get into the dad and father thing. And I was like, man, my dad is finna come around. I like that. But for me, as a little kid, man, I'm talking about you at the age of 16, I'll say I was 16, 15 years old in that area. for to make you a Christmas list, knowing your daddy. I'm like, oh man, I'm finna get this. This is what's up. I'm going there with a Christmas list down there, 15 items. This man making boo-goos of money driving trucks. So I'm like, I know, man, it's finna be on. It wasn't even nothing big. It was basically more like clothes, a few toys here and there. I just want to just look, tired of people talking about my clothes because I have to wear 3 pair of jeans a week, but I had to flip them. But I said to myself, my daddy gonna be there. As soon as I go in there and walk with him my list, he holler off and say, take it to your mom. That stuns you like, you my daddy. Why I gotta take this to mom? This your money. I don't know this. All I know is this is a woman you married. But I goes in there, the first thing she haul off is she grabbed my list, start crossing out things. And I'm like, what the world? You sitting there as a little kid coming up to that teenage age, and this woman crossing out things that you are perfectly wedded to get back and have a relationship with your father, with your dad, which is as a father in the beginning anyway, but you want to turn into a dad. So I'm looking at all this stuff crossing out, and I'm asking her, what's going on? And she was like, well, if you need any clothes, we just going to give you the old clothes what your brother used to have. You're like, what the fuck?
I don't want that shit.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm like, here it is. My dad done sat there and told me he got $5,000 to spend for Christmas. And you trying to tell me on all his kids, I got to get hand-me-down? So out of 15 items, that shit burned down to 2.
Did you get them?
Man, the way I felt, I ain't want that shit. I took that list back in there to my dad and showed it to him. And what made me not want it, when he said, well, that's your mom. You got to listen to her. I walked the fuck out the house.
Yeah.
He didn't want to buy that shit.
So you mean to tell me you my dad and I'm the first child? So to be petty, I said I was going to go back over there Christmas just to see what the heck went on. I'm walking in Christmas, man, my brother got a life full of shit. And I'm looking, and this woman come to me with this BS fucking bullshit. Talking about some, here you go. Man, I never busted tears in my life. Right then and there. And the shit must didn't matter because it stayed the same. So I'm looking at, that's when I lost total respect of my dad. Right then and there. You got your son standing right in front of you with tears. Another son over there with every damn thing on his list. The 2 items that I got was a pair of pants and a shirt.
Some damn clothes.
That's 2 items. A pair of pants and a shirt. And the other shit was hand-me-down.
So you aren't the oldest brother either?
He ain't even my dad's son. I was his first child.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So that traumatized me. So you know what I did? Went back to stealing. Put all that drama on my mom. Calling her from her, hey mama, get what? I'm locked up. You finna come and get me? What for? Oh man, you know what for. Your ass back out there stealing again? Yeah, dog. I almost got away. I ain't think he was looking. Shit was funny. Because that's how I stole in my head. That's where it go back to being a father and a dad.
That damn resentment.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's where it come back to where you got to spend time with your kids. Because if you don't spend time with your kids, so the thing I did was I had to look at my mom struggling. And I'm looking at myself being an asshole and saying to myself, this woman out here struggling for me. This woman doing her best for me. This woman this and that. So I'm like, and you being this. You doing this to traumatize your mom. So I was like, I'm changing.
All right. Coco, what would you like to add to that before I get to the more positive message that we have for this question as well?
My situation was kind of like 2 ways. Okay. My situation was kind of like 2 ways. My dad was not in my life. He left when I was, I think, a little while after I was born. I didn't see him again until I was 25.
Wow.
I went to stay with him for 2 weeks. During that time, his wife did not like me because she said I was taking up too much of his time. Came back home, and he still tried, I guess, in his eyes, he was trying to have a relationship with me. I talked to him on the phone here and there, but it wasn't like I wanted it to be, like I thought it would be. He would always say he was coming to see me. He never came. I would say from the time I met him when I was 25 to now, I'm 37, I've only gotten $20 from him. And that's sad.
That's
Really?
real sad.
Really.
Wow. So actually, how did it really play a part in your life?
He came to your wedding?
He was late. He came at the end after the wedding was over. Yeah, I know you tried to get to it, but
He's
still,
supposed to walk
if you
you
really
down.
wanted it, if you really wanted to see me get married, you would have
Yeah, he would have
came.
been there. He would have made.
You can't control
reservation.
all
I
circumstances.
can't
and
control all
situations.
circumstances, but if you
But
want
he's
a
the
relationship
father
with me,
that supposed to walk her down the aisle.
and my stepdad has been more of a father to me, and you know this.
I
That,
know.
I like
than
his stepdad.
he had.
He's funny too.
that right there,
I-
you know, if you ain't did anything in life, that is a big part.
Being at my wedding, that's all I wanted.
I'm still surprised he came, even though he did miss
Yes,
it.
I'm glad he came, but
He didn't really actually come. The
came
wedding
at
was
the
over.
end. Yeah, it was over. We were taking pictures at the end, and he showed up.
So
So,
actually,
like, Papa, who that
that's
man
not-
is?
that's
You
not
smiled
coming.
when you seen him. So
I was happy. Yes, I'm always happy to see him, but now it's like he tries to put, why won't you talk to me? That's why I don't really talk to him, because I think I still
Hold
You have
on.
that
resent him.
resentment?
Yes, and I don't want to be like that, but that's just in me right now.
Y'all
But-
you gotta work on it some though. Give
In
him
order
a chance.
for your-
He trying.
Right. In order for you not to be like that, you have to tell him.
Yo, you gotta tell him everything that's on your heart. Like, just let it
Right.
out. Even if it's gonna make him mad, piss him off, make him want to probably strangle you. But you gotta say it, because we all go through things. We all feel a way. And I feel like emotions play a big part in many relationships, whether they're good, angry, whatever. Like, they play a big part. And y'all know me, I'm gonna show my emotion. Whether I'm sad, I'm gonna cry. If I'm angry, you gonna know it here. If I want to cuss you out, I'm gonna cuss you out. But after this, we gonna work it out. We may
Right.
not talk for a little while, we gonna work it out.
You right about
We
that?
gonna work it out.
But see, it get a lot of stress off you.
But I don't. What gets me is it's always. I have given this man my phone number so many times, and it's always, why he'll message me and why won't you call me? What's your number? Well, how many times I gotta give you my phone number?
You know what? This what I did. You know, my grandma has even told my daddy, "Hey, your daughter stay right down the road. You pass her house every day. You'll never stop." He don't. But you know what I do? Like, yes, at first I started off just asking my dad for money all the time. Like, hey, do you have this, and that I could borrow? This and that. But I was like, you know what? You can't keep doing that. And I learned this from my great aunt. She was like, don't just call me when you need something. So in order to establish a good relationship with my dad, a decent one at least, I called him even to check on him. Sometimes I felt like he didn't answer the phone because he felt like I was asking for something. But I would either text or I leave a message like, hey, I was just calling to check on you, make sure everything's okay over there. You know, I hadn't heard from y'all in a while. I hope everything's okay. Even though it wasn't supposed to be left on my end to do, I still did it. Because that let him know, okay, well, she's not just calling me because she needs something. She wants to make sure I'm okay. So therefore, like, we still go maybe a month or a couple weeks without talking to each other, but somebody somewhere in there, somebody reaches out and we're like, hey, are you okay? You know, yeah.
Somebody got to mend that relationship.
Yeah, somebody
Somebody
it's
gotta
gotta
step
start
in there.
somewhere, whether it's
Can't
whether
dance
it's
by
on you or
yourself.
not.
You can dance by yourself, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know how far you might get, but you know, it take a team to get you where you're gonna need to get. So, with that being said, all the negative stuff out the way, there was one answer that I really, really liked that was really, really positive that I feel like a lot of dads stray away from because they don't want to feel as if they're weak or sensitive and they try to throw it all on the mother. But I really like this answer right here. He said, my dad is still alive, But one thing I remember is that he always was willing to talk about anything, no matter the subject. I like that because most men feel like, okay, well, if you come to me with this, I don't feel like I need to talk to you about that. That's something your mother gonna have to handle. I like that because a lot of men, they shut down to certain topics. And some kids, they feel the need to talk to their dad more than they feel the need to talk to their mom. You know, it just depends on what the subject is. And for a father or dad or whatever you want to call it, feels the need that they can talk to you on that level, I really, really respect that. I like that. Because I see from even the men that's sitting at this table right now around me, they don't like to be seen as sensitive, soft, or none of this. But y'all gonna have to let that go.
Oh no.
Let them egos go. Let those egos go. Like, show your emotions. That will help you so much more. Like, I know the world is tough on men, but just let it go. Let it go. It'll help women understand y'all more, and then that way, I feel like if y'all be a lot more open with things, and then women be a lot more receptive of the message instead of being so aggressive, y'all could get somewhere. Like, I'm willing to listen to somebody, but you're not gonna belittle me while you're talking to me. Now, I will say that. Don't belittle me while you're talking to me and telling me your feelings. If you tell me what you're really trying to get across to me in a respectable manner, we can get somewhere. But as far as the belittling here and there, no, I will not be with that. But I understand. I get it. Like, the more I get older and the more I sit up here and just sit around, like, certain people, I understand, like, certain feelings and emotions. And I know that a lot of men, they feel like they can't express themselves because in a woman's eyes, they'll be looked at as sensitive, weak, or not man enough. And I feel like men go through stuff just like we do.
I think that will make a man more stronger, being able to speak on their emotions. Most of us get brought up the wrong way, thinking that you got to hide stuff, and that's why you need that father that was truly fathered himself to pass that on, generational type stuff, And it's not nothing weak about, expressing emotion, sadness, anger, and the other emotions that are out there, But ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
And one more positive note I want to add on about question number 2 is something your dad really instilled on you. Carry your ass to work.
Oh yeah, they definitely said
he pushed that on me because that's one thing I remember. Like, if he didn't do nothing else, he gonna get ready and go to work, put in his work, overtime, whatever.
Right.
Do whatever it take to find another job, just whatever. You gonna do something.
Keep a roof over your head.
And like, if I don't do nothing else, if I lay around the bed all day or not do nothing around the house, and if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna get up and carry my head to work, like Daddy said that you need to do. You gotta carry your head to work.
Right, and like me, I come from a family of some strong women. Like, y'all, the women in my family, they pretty much carry this family, and like, I like the saying that I got from somebody that said, if you're not bleeding, you good to go. Get out there and do it. Like, I feel like that's what made me so tough now. Like, every woman in my family, they know how to get out there and get it. Like, don't sit around and wait on a handout. Don't be dependent on nobody. Because when I jump into relationships, I have to look at them. Look, I don't mind you working, getting overtime and doing what you need to do because I'm going to do it.
Right.
Regardless. Like, I understand you say you got me. I can't depend on it. Because you here today, tomorrow you may not be. I can't depend on that. I have to do what I need to do in order to make sure I'm okay. So, yeah, I agree with that. Get out there and work for it stuff.
Yeah, that's the same thing about as father dad thing in relationships. Like they say, a father is just there, present. The dad is provider.
Yep.
He's gonna put a roof over your head, and that's the same thing in a relationship. If a woman can feel like that you're a provider, and she can feel like that you're there for her, she can trust you, and she'll have that trust in you. And you still gotta, communication. The same thing like communication. Your weak side's gotta come out. If you're feeling sensitive, bring it out, because because a woman's gonna show her sensitive side regardless too, and you still gotta show yours. That's how y'all communicate together.
Okay, guys, like I have really enjoyed this segment. We're gonna do question number 3, and we're gonna finish up question 4 and 5 on a part 2. Because this segment is going on and it's better than I thought it would be. Like all this feedback and all these answers and the questions. Like we want to touch like a few of them, and it's going.
I want to add on to what he just said, but we'll wait.
We can go back. We're gonna go ahead and let Daryl answer back on what Terrence had to share, and then we're gonna go on to question number 3, and then we're gonna finish up 4 and 5 on part 2. Okay, Daryl, the floor is yours.
Back to what you were saying about, that mother, the things you were saying about, the mother's role. It takes two, to raise that child. Parents can get it done, but I hate to say it and just be blunt with it. Something's going to lack with one trying to do it. They need both sides of it. And, they need their mother for that nurturing, caring aspect, the emotional side to help bring that stuff out of kids, whatever, and that father to, I'm not going to say to raise them up to show them the right way, not saying women show them the wrong way or nothing, but, it just needs both. Like, you going to miss out on something that's going to have you lacking, overall without both of them twisted in there together at some point, even if you're not together, parents not together, whatever.
Going back on, like, what you said, like, I agree with that, like, me, I got blessed to have 2 girls that I could show them how to, the emotional side. They have a wonderful dad. Like, it's good, but like, think about if I had a son. Like, I couldn't do that by myself. Like, that would be rough. It's certain things that I cannot teach him that a dad needs to be present for. Like, I completely understand because I have brothers, and I completely understand. I understand all that. Like, you need mother and father there because
Right.
one can teach you something that the other one can't. The other one can feel like they're teaching you, but it's still something missing. Like, my mom, she raised 3 kids, 2 girls, 1 boy. Like, I ain't gonna lie, my little brother, he turned out so great. But he had father figures. He didn't have a dad, a father, but he had father figures. And they stepped in and they helped my mama out. And my brother, I am so proud of him. I am very proud of him. He doesn't get into any trouble. He's going to college now. He's 20 years old, getting his life together. I don't know of any trouble that he's been in. It hasn't been shared with me, but he's a good kid. Like, he really is. And that's not my only brother, but that's the one that I really wanted to share with everybody and show that, it's going to take more than just a woman to raise a son. But my mom, she did a really good job with that one. She did. And he protects her like, woo-wee. Like, he protects all of us like that, though. For him to be the youngest, he's like real big and stout and swole. Like, he's not big as in, sense of weight, but he's stout and he tall and he a pretty big boy. Like, he gonna stand up for all of us and he gonna protect us. And he
has a mentality of being a man, but respecting a woman.
He does. Yeah. And like, I remember my sister had texted us in a group message saying something happened to her, and the first thing that came out his mouth, let me see him because I'm going to show him that's going to be the last woman he touched. I was like, woo! Yes! Yeah.
That's what's up. That sounds like a solid upbringing.
Yeah. That sounds like a woman gonna be right with him. They might want to link up. Y'all looking for a good one? There it is.
But yeah, it takes 2 because half your DNA come from each parent, so each one of them gonna show you something different emotionally. Your father might show you your anger, but your mama gonna show you that love, how to love people. So it's both sides. It all mesh in together.
Yeah. That go back to playing a part. Like, think about it now. You're a mom. You show the love that a woman should have for a man to your son. And then if you're a dad, you show him the love that a man should have for a woman. It goes right back to that part where they're saying, mama's baby, daddy's baby.
No, mama's baby,
boy.
daddy's maybe.
Yeah. I was like, well.
Daddy's girl, mama's boy.
Right.
So yeah.
Be that example.
Let's move on to question number 3 before we run out of time. So question number 3 was, what is the most valuable lesson you have or plan to teach or taught your child or children? This one, again from the same person, really, really loved it. So I'm going to read it out first. The most important lesson I think we have taught my son is no matter what a person looks like, who their God is, where they're from, or what their voice sounds like, or who they're married to, that we are all equal, no dispute. I love that. 'Cause I try to teach my kids the same thing, like no matter the skin color, whatever, like the background, like you're supposed to love one another as equal. And I have never seen them just like judge anybody off of what they look like or what they have. And that right there lets me feel like I did a really good job as raising them as a parent, because I didn't grow up learning how to hate people off certain things, off what they look like, who they praised, and, you know, stuff like that. I didn't grow up like that. I know I had some family members that despise certain things, but I've always had my own mindset towards stuff. And like when it comes down to stuff like that, like you never know who you might meet, you never know who you might need, what bridges you might need, so you should never burn any of them.
Right.
Love all, because God loves all, and to be more like Christ, you must love.
God is love.
So that's how I feel about that one. I love that answer. Y'all have an input for that one?
It's all about respect.
Perfect answer.
Yeah, he answered it within himself.
Right. I like this one too. It says that I stress to my God kids that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I teach them to value their relationships and don't assume that you'll see someone tomorrow. Give them their flowers today while they're still alive and above ground to smell them.
That's a constant daily reminder when people die. Oh man, I just seen him. But it's like you weren't thinking about, you know.
Right.
It's like that people don't care about you till you're dead or something wrong with you. Oh, I ain't know. I don't know him, blah, blah, blah. You got to take care of your people. Like they say, give them their roses while they're alive.
And this right here is another good one. Like, I like it because it touches base on religion. And I don't feel like no one should force any type of religion on anyone. So this person said, I don't force my beliefs on them. I let them find their own identity. I converted to Islam in 2015, and I will teach them stuff here and there, but it's not forced. When I was younger, we were drugged to church almost every day. It began to feel like a chore rather than an exercise of faith.
That's how it is a lot with the church. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but if you taught them and they feel that's the thing that they need to follow, they'll do it. But, you know, it's all up to free will, you know. You can't you'll push somebody away forcing stuff on them, you know. Like, all you can do is lead them to it. And if they interested, I mean, you pray that they'll be interested in, well, whatever, you know, your interest or whatever the subject is. But, you know, that's the easiest way to push somebody away, trying to push them to things how you want it to be.
Right.
And it sucks.
Anybody else want to add anything to that? No? All right, the other thing that a lot of people shared is keep pushing, don't give up, and no matter what, they want to tell their kids, Dad loves you no matter the circumstances. The sky is the limit. Everything in the world is up for the grabs. You just got to go get it.
Right. It's out there.
That goes back to that last question. What he said, I think it was something Clay dad had said, or he said about his dad, you got to get up there and go get it. I can't remember exactly what it was how it was worded, but yeah.
That's the same thing with education.
If you ain't
bleeding, what you want to be in life, you know, you get taught things in school, but you need to teach yourself out of school. You know, just because what they teach you in school, there's still more to learn.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you got to push yourself, you know, because they'll show you certain parts in school, but there's so much technology out there you can learn even more outside of school.
Need to learn out more.
Yep, like the school teaches you education and book sense to get to where you need to get, but that common sense is gonna have to come with like upbringing and like really.
Same thing as pushing yourself.
Yep,
What
like
you wanna
really
do.
thinking and using your brain to get what you're trying to get. So,
And then that's why, you know, when kids come in and tell you things like, I can't find it, you know, man, no, I had to get books. And if you can't find them, you walk to the library. But now the way technology is, you
bring
can't
the book.
tell me. Man, you can't tell me you can't find it. Daryl, I'm serious. When we couldn't find something, man, you walk in the library, somebody probably got that book for you.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You sitting at the table like, hey man, you done with that book yet? I need to learn this right here because we didn't have these phones.
A lot of that stuff ain't trustworthy because anybody can put anything on there. So that's one thing I do hate about the internet, or I'm not gonna say media, but like the more technological world we live in, because like it's a bunch of trolling and fooling people. Anybody go in there and put what they want, and people are so
gullible
to
They don't
everything.
believe it because it's
I see it all the time. People
On the
sharing
internet.
stuff on Facebook. Oh man, they saying this and that. Won't even look at the name of the website. It'll be some
Right.
crazy stuff, and like
That's where
They just don't read.
Right.
You know?
That's where you
Yeah,
have
that's
to go and do
comprehension. That's what I was
Right.
trying to think of.
There it is.
Comprehension.
That's
Right.
where you have to go do your extensive research and find out for yourself. You know, ask people. Like, I used to be scared to ask people about stuff. I was like, they might think I'm dumb because it is. But then it kept, like, something just throughout my whole life, something just kept ringing. A lot of people have said this: no question is a dumb question. So
True.
I'm gonna ask. It may sound stupid to you, but look, I'm gonna ask. Look, I have an issue with this. Can you just clear that up for me right fast?
Goes back to how you gonna know.
Right, like
That's crazy. Cause
you
that
have to
reminds.
know.
My bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you
It
good.
reminds me because everywhere I go, people say the same thing about me. You know, no matter where I am. Man, you ask a lot of questions. That's another thing my daddy instilled into me. If you don't know, ask questions to be sure. You want to be 100%, 100% sure in what you asking. You know, like don't be scared to ask no question. His mama instilled that into him, and like he pushed that down on me. And like people get tired of me because I'm gonna ask one more question about that first question, then another question.
200% sure.
Okay, because I tell him all the
That's a
time,
good
like,
thing.
Daryl, you're good because you're gonna ask a lot of questions. He's like,
Yes.
yeah. Well, that's good because me,
Yeah.
I don't ask too many questions. I only ask questions when I feel uncertain and uncomfortable. That's when I'm like, hold on. So you telling me? But my kids, even though half their questions are just steered towards being nosy, I try not to discourage them in asking questions because asking questions will help them better off in the long run.
I would
Better
say
than help me.
asking questions shows that you really care or you're really interested in whatever you're asking about. If you're just going about the thing, not caring, not really worrying about whatever the situation is, you don't give a damn. So I think a person asking a question really trying to know, unless they just trying to kiss up, but that's another subject.
Okay. Anything else we want to add to this before we close up part 1?
Turns page.
But yes, this is all for part 1. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it enough to catch part 2. And I really want to thank you all that reached out and gave me answers to these questions. Like, they were some really good answers, as you can see. We weighed in on them. We gave our opinions. We like these. Like, this was really enjoyable. I hope this opens up doors for more men or dads or fathers to be to come out and just be more vocal about your emotions and how you feel about things. That way we all understand where you're coming from. So with that being said, tune in for part 2. We'll be answering the last 2 questions. Thank you guys for tuning in. And again, if you would like to go back and listen to some old episodes, or if you would like to tune in and catch up on everything that we're doing here, you can find me on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at I Am Her. and also on YouTube at Audaciously Ashley. If you would like to follow my Instagram or my Twitter for more information as to when these post, my Instagram is audaciously_me_, and my Twitter is Ashley_no banks. And also, if you would like to follow up with the guys that I had on this episode, you can find them on Facebook. One is at Terrence Webb. And the other one is D. Gregory Porter. And the third one is Coco Porter. And they are all on Facebook. That is just their Facebook. No other social media. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you also enjoy part 2.